Hey guys, I have got a really fun and simple page in my Life Crafted album today using the July Life Crafted kit and a prompt from Are You Kristen over on Instagram. She has this awesome hashtag called Thursday3. It's literally just a selfie and 3 random things about yourself. And I very rarely post them on Instagram, but I love it. I love the idea of it, and I think it was a perfect prompt to pop into my Life Crafted album as a little snapshot of what is going on right now. So I printed out my photo as a full-size Life Crafted page that is a 5 by 8.25. And I've also got just a base sort of white card of the same size, and I have hole punched those holes. When I was picking out pattern papers for the right hand side of this page, I wanted something that was like super bright and fun, and in the end I've gone for this stripe, this 4-color stripe. I really love it for a few reasons. It is bright and cherry, which is what I need right now. It also matches some of the colors in my photo really well, so I thought that was a great addition. But also, it has a 4x6 journaling card in the kit that matches the same colors, the stripes as well. So that's going to be perfect for putting my actual journaling onto. So the striped paper could not have worked out any better. I could have used it flat as it was, just trimmed it down and stick it onto my base paper, but I wanted to create a little more texture. So what I've done is cut all of those stripes apart, and I'm going to recreate this paper but in a more kind of 3D form. So I'm using all of the little stripes. I did keep them in the same order that they were on the actual pattern paper. I've just cut out all of those white pieces in the middle, and they're going to be replaced by that white base card that I cut in the first place. So you can see me here, I'm just kind of reconstructing this paper. I am going to have to make some of these the like gaps a little bit larger than they were, and I'm only using a very tiny amount of adhesive so that I can lift them up and reposition them. So I started from the bottom. You can see me, I ended up having to go back up to the top there again, and I am going to sort of reposition them. I'm not making these gaps even. They're all a little bit higgledy-piggledy just to kind of add to the effect of it. But once I've got them all in place, I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch a line of sewing through the middle of every single one of those stripes. So that's why it didn't matter that I didn't use a lot of adhesive, because they're actually going to be stuck down by the sewing machine rather than my tape runner. Now that I've got all of those stitched down, this is where I'm going to create the texture. So I'm just using a little bone folder because I've got very short nails at the moment, and I am lifting up the edges of the paper and then kind of just ruffling them up, just distressing them a little bit. It is very difficult to use a paper distressor with this sort of technique with them all stitched down like this. But my fingernails did just a perfect job. I'm just adding a little bit of texture, a little bit of dimension, and it's really tactile sort of page. Now the top and bottom stripes were a little bit shorter than the rest of them, so I've only ruffled one edge. And then I'm going to add my journaling onto the 4x6 journaling card, but I need to change it just a smidge in Photoshop. So like I said, I just need to alter this card a little bit. So I have opened up the digital PNG version of it. And one of the things that I want to do to it is remove one of these journaling spots, because it's a Thursday3 that I'm documenting. I only need 3 spaces. So I think I'm going to use these bottom 3. These colors kind of match my photo a bit more. So I need to remove this one here. What I'm going to do is increase the size of the other portions of this card. So I'm just going to select a little piece of it and then go edit and transform scale. And then just drag this up. Now the trick of it is that this margin at the bottom is going to be larger than this one at the top. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And then hit return. I can deselect that, and then I'm not going to need this whole 4x6 portion, but just to make this side of the card a little bit less messy, I'm going to select all of these stripes and I'm going to transform and scale again. This time I'm going to use the middle handle and drag that out until it reaches that edge. Then I can hit return, deselect, and now I have a 4x6 card that has the 3 journaling spots on it. I can also, while I'm here, put my journaling on here. So I'm just going to make sure that black is at the top. I want my text to be in black, and then I can go ahead and just make a little text box. I'm gonna need this much smaller than what I've got. I like the font Remington Noiseless just to kind of replicate a typewriter, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add in my 3 journaling spots here. So I have just typed out all my journaling, and I can go ahead and print this and then very quickly finish up putting this layout together. So I've printed out my journaling card just on a piece of cardstock, so it's still got that same lovely matte texture, and I trimmed off the portion that I don't need, so that's why I kept those little journaling blocks a little bit shorter. Now I'm going to use these gold alphas. I don't have the black alphas, puffy alphas that came in the kit this month. I've got some gold ones from a previous kit instead, so I'm going to use those. They still work nicely. I've added my 1, 2, 3 to the printed journaling card, and now I'm thinking that I might add one of these stripes from the original version of that card as kind of a placeholder for my title on top of my photo. I tried a couple of different colors, and in the end I really like the yellow one. It kind of picks up the yellow of my goldenrod life crafted albums in the top of my photo there. So I used that and did the same thing. I'm gonna stitch that with my sewing machine, and then I'm gonna ruffle it up, but only on the bottom edge because I need some part of this to be flat to hold my alphas. So I'm gonna use it like a little shelf. The stitching's really handy for kind of keeping my alphas straight. It also helps them stick on to the cardstock rather than my photo. And I'm just gonna spell out Thursday3 using those same gold alphas. Again, it kind of ties the 2 pages together. I feel like it's important to date this sort of thing. If it is a current snapshot in time, it needs the time on it. So I've added the day's date that I took the photo, which was yesterday. And I am just trimming down my journaling cards that I printed out just a little bit. I felt like those margins around the outside were kind of a bit too big. They stuck out a little bit. I wanted it a little bit more the same kind of width as some of the stripes that I've made on that card. Now, because I'm in my Life Crafted album, I care not how large this page gets, so I am going to add my journaling with a little bit of craft foam just to help it stand up off those ruffles. I added a self-adhesive sort of square, and then I'm going to add a ton of double-sided tape onto the back of here because it's being stuck down onto those ruffly pieces. It's an uneven background. I want to make sure it stays stuck down really good, so I added a lot of tape, and then I'm going to line that up onto the right hand edge of that page, trying to get it as straight as I can. I positioned it sort of not really strategically, but you can see the yellow journaling strip and the orange journaling strip overlap those same colored stripes on the background, and I really love how that turned out. My very small attempt at embellishment is just going to be a few of the gorgeous enamel dots from the kit because I love them. I can't get enough of them, and I'm going to add a few under my title just again to pull some of those colors over onto that side of the page, and then just to echo the same thing, just a few tucked in and around my journaling on the right hand side. Going to add one more tiny dot, and then I'm going to move some of the ones that I had originally stuck down. I think I'll go ahead and add some adhesive behind these since I've pulled them up and down so many times. But that's my page all done. A really simple, fun idea, and I love how this turned out. So much texture and a lot of journaling for me, so this was a great prompt. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.